Hello, Supercars in Seconds here. Today we're going to take a good look at the 2017 Maserati Levante SUV. A nice look at the front of the car, of course, giving it some nice rear view mirror look with that lovely big trident in the center. On those silver bar, these aside, they seem to be spread out further than they are on the sedans, which I actually prefer. I think it's rather nice. I've got this one set in the Aero 1 setting. You've got 5 different levels for the air suspension that you can adjust to, and that's kind of the lower road height, which is rather nice looking. It keeps that SUV look, but not so high and it looked like it's up on stilts. It's a very aggressive, low down looking car. So out back we have a very well disguised roof spoiler blended right into the roof there, which looks very cool. I like the 4 exhaust pipes down the bottom, and I'll reach underneath, just under here, the little button to pop that power tailgate open for us. And an interesting idea they've done, instead of putting it very up high to close it back up, they've put the closing button right here. I just think that's much more convenient, and I wish other manufacturers would copy that. Kind of a cool idea. Some interesting straps in here to hold stuff, and you've got little shopping bag type latches and all sorts of things to latch things down. And nicely made. We do have a pass-through, and then the 60/40 folding seats as well. But let's touch this and you hear it go beep, 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 and it will close the trunk down. Just give you time to get out of the way, I suppose. Has nice quality keys too, with the trident and some easy, but it's heavy to hold. It's a good feeling of quality. And I think that's the point. And you're thinking this car is again in the mid-50s, not 200 grand in the silly world I work in. The power steering has a nice weight to it. It's not like the other cars you're going to get in this price point. I'm glad they didn't forget their sports car roots with the car. You can see, as I mentioned, how she's low down, low slung, not a great big gap under the wheel arches. They've kept pillarless window frames, and it is 2 sheets of glass. I don't know if you can see that, to keep her nice and quiet inside. So, reaching under the hood, good looking engine here. I love the intakes all separated out. It looks very cool and set quite a long way back in the vehicle. It's rather nice. So we got a 3-litre twin turbocharged 6-cylinder driving all 4 wheels through an 8-speed transmission. They can use a special clutch pack to separate the front wheels if they're not needed for all-wheel drive at any particular moment, which is pretty clever technology. As this engine is the standard, she creates 345 horsepower, 369 pounds of torque, which does hustle her along very well. There is an S version, of course, as well, with 424 horsepower that we might test perhaps another time. So now inside the vehicle, just a nicely made car. The seats are beautiful. I think they're better than the seats that are in the Ghibli too. They must have adjusted them in some way. They do feel softer and more comfortable, frankly. In the rear, a nice setup. You can adjust the seats. You can see the 60/40 split there. You can lean them forward a little bit too, so you can recline the rear seats to give you more room, or they will fold pretty flat as well. Not completely flat, but pretty flat. I'll start the vehicle up. We got a start button down over here, so I'll push on that. And she comes to life. I like cars that wave all the way around to the other side and go back. That just looks kind of cool. So driver's eye view, very nice. I like the big analog gauges with the big digital display in the center. That's rather nice. The trident is always staring at you. It's very cool. The system here looks like a variant of the Uconnect system from Chrysler, just easy to use and responds very quickly and so on. Just a nice system to use and very intuitive. Down here we do have some modes, of course. So if I push it, it'll illuminate one little light. That's sport mode for the powertrain. If I push it again, it goes to sport mode for the suspension. So I'll show you that up here. I'm going to push the button once and it'll tell me there. Oh, I heard the exhaust open up too. And then I'll push it again, and you'll notice that the dampers illuminate now as well. So that's kind of cool. So the Levante would be a wind in the Mediterranean that can go from a quiet breeze into a strong gale force wind very, very quickly. So let's put it in gear and see how quick it'll get a gale force wind going. Oh, good sound when it's in the sport and sport suspension. It sounds good. Let's hit it. Very good. So she's 5.8 to 60 miles an hour. We're coming into Batman's corner here. Bit of body roll as you expect from an SUV. but pretty planted after that initial lean. It just seems to sit there after that. Very good. It moves, very good. Now let's try these big brakes now. About 14-inch rotors up the front here. Let's see what they're like. Pretty good. So of course my normal tests are focusing on the performance of the vehicle. That just interests me. I like to know what the cars are capable of. But when it's in sport, it really holds the gears back very well. It's not trying to get to 8th for economy all the time. In the comfort mode, the standard mode, it does. It wants to get through the gears quickly, and it's very smooth like that. In the sport, with the suspension on as well, it really holds the gears and makes it much more of a sports car type feel. It's a good size too. This is 197 inches long. So, what's that? I guess a Mercedes E-Class is right there. A Dodge Charger, that sort of size in a sedan. So it's a bigger car than you think. When I first saw the car, I thought it was pretty small, but it's really a good size. Plenty of rear leg room, and I got loads of room up here. A nice vehicle. So in my morally corrupt, adrenaline junkie side for driving cars, there's a version of this vehicle called the Trafeo, the Levante Trafeo. That vehicle, this exact same car, gets to 60 miles an hour in about 3.8 seconds. Do you know that's about the same speed as the big Enzo-based Maserati MC12 hypercar from a decade or so ago? Just incredible how far the performance has come in cars today. A very glossy finish on this center console too. All the little storage areas down there that are much larger than you think. And lots of cool buttons up in the roof. I like buttons. Everything's gone to touch screens, but I like the buttons. Huge, big, full-size sunroof. And a nice Alcantara headliner. So against the light leather, the dark leather, and the Alcantara, a nice mixture of materials. So that's the Maserati Levante. As I say, it's a 2017, covered about 16,000 miles. In the low 50s price range, this is a great bargain, I think. It's beautifully made and very glamorous with that big Maserati trident down in the grille there. And I think it's definitely worth a look. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I want you to share the videos around, please, and be a part of the channel. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.